it used to depict the functional requirement of a system. So last time I show you the diagram, system, boundary, actors, use cases. Now on the left side, there's a panel called toolbox. From the toolbox, I am taking the use case subject. Everyone's with me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am selecting the use case subject. Just clicking. I will. Many times that's why it's showing more.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, actually, I lose my attendance, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll take the attendance again. I will first explain this.
Join in the right time, 5 minutes before 9. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Be careful. Be careful.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, guys, you can see this is a system boundary. And the third option is the use case. You can just select. Yes, I will just change pin. For every diagram, it will be same. On the left side, there will be all the tools necessary for drawing the diagrams. And select the diagram from the model. So right now, I am taking these three use cases. I have withdrawal, I have balance inquiry, and a change pin. Now the fourth option in the toolbox is the actor. Taking the is the first actor, and I am taking the bank as the second actor. Now there will be an interaction between the users and the use case. So you can see the first year association. I will associate. The user can withdraw the money. He can do the inquiry about the balance, or he can change his pin. So he will be associated with every use case. I take one more use case. It's maintenance. You can see that user will not be associated with this use case, as only the bank will be associated with this. For withdrawal purpose also, bank will be associated. For changing PIN also, you have to verify it from the bank first. Now there are more things we can add to this diagram. This is the most in the simplest form you can draw like this. Now you can make it more complex by adding other functionalities also. So here I am showing one. Here I am showing one is generalization. So at the time of withdrawal, it asks you that to withdraw money from savings account or current account. Every ATM asks this whether you want to withdraw from savings account or current account. I am creating here two use cases. First one is saving, and the other one is the current account. And both these savings and current account will be we as a generalization. It's a relationship. Both these comes under withdrawal. There are other dependencies also. So we can use include also. There is extend also. So it depends on the how you are drawing the use cases. What functionalities are you showing in the use case? It all depends on that. So not necessary to use all this, but to use this, it will be a good choice using all this include and extend relationships. I am showing you here the generalization relationship. And the last time also I told you, it only shows the functional requirement. Use cases can't be more than 20. It will be less than 20. We are not giving the, we are just showing the expected behavior of a system. We are not giving the details of what each use case is doing. It's showing the functional requirements of a system only, the basic requirements of a system. All the you can see the actors, users, it's associated with withdrawal, balance inquiry, change PIN, and it's not associated with maintenance. So each actor has its role. Each So again, guys, this is just a in I'm drawing it in the simplest form. It will be more complex. Depends on you what kind of diagram you draw. Okay, this is about the use case diagram. Go to the second diagram, which is the activity diagram. So again, you can go to model, add diagram, and this activity diagram. That I will just save this diagram. And in the file, you can see save as, name it. It will be saved now. Okay, model, add diagram. You can see here activity diagram. You can see on the left side the toolbox, all the necessary for drawing activity diagram. And on the right hand side, you can see this is the model one, this is the use case diagram which is draw, and below that this is the activity diagram now we are drawing. In the last class I told you about the swim lanes. So see here you can see it comes under activities, advanced activities. The first option is the swim lanes. will select another swim lane. So for every use case in the use case diagram, there will be a related activity diagram. So this activity diagram I am drawing for balance inquiry. Like swim lane. Again, I will take a third swim lane. In the on the left side in the toolbox, you can see in the basic activities. So every activity diagram start with the initial. Here you can see the initial sign, a black dot. You can click on it. Here it is black dot. It implies the start of activity diagram. I will take the first option, action. Right, enter card. So this is the first activity, enter card. Select control flow from start state, enter action. Action. Select from the basic activities. I am renaming it as balance inquiry. From here the flow will go, the user will enter the pin. So we can show. So you can see here how the flow from one activity to another. It shows the flow of activities. I will select the control. You can just increase the size of the swim lanes. It's not sufficient. So the next action will be, so the user will enter the pin. It will be received by the so again the control flow from the here to here. You can change these arrows like this. After entering the pin, it has to be verified. So it's going again in the next swim lane. Now here you can see just above the control flow, there's a decision. So after entering the pin, it will be a valid pin or invalid pin. So we will just use this decision. Okay, I will increase its size. So if the pin is not valid, so here you can see the second and third option. Second one is the initial state. We draw here a black dot, and the final state is represented as a black dot surrounded by a circle. So this is the final activity. So if the pin is not valid, okay, I will end the transaction. Or if the pin is valid, it will proceed further. Valid pin in the control flow. Again, increase the size of the swim lane. Now, if the pin is valid, the ATM will show the options. Right? What the user want to do. You want to check balance or to change pin, whatever. So the next action is by the user. He will select balance inquiry. Okay, from options to balance inquiry. You can change the directions of these arrows. Okay. Increase the size of swim lanes. So after selecting balance inquiry, ATM will receive the request. Then it will get the balance available in the account. Get the balance. The control flow will do. It will display the balance on the ATM screen. The balance will be displayed. And finally, the user will collect the card. And the final state, third option, in the end, the flow from collect card to final. Activity diagram. Okay. So I will again explain from the start. So it's visible properly to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we are starting. This is the start state. Black dot is used. So the user is entering the card. ATM is requesting for the pin. So it displaying the message. Enter pin. The user will enter the pin. The pin is received. Then it will check. Yes, the decision box. If the pin is not valid, it will go to the end state. If the pin is valid, it will proceed the transaction. So the ATM will show the options. The user will select the balance inquiry. The ATM will receive the request. It will fetch the balance and it will display the balance back. So here it's showing how the uh, flow from one activity to another activity. So it's for balance inquiry. So after drawing the use cases in the use case diagram, for every use case you have to draw the activity diagram. So here I have shown you for balance inquiry. So as many use cases you draw, for that use cases you have to draw the activity diagram. Now here I use just a decision box. So I will just the fourth option is the fork. You can also use this fork. So the fork is used for, suppose this there's an activity. So I will use this pin enter for the sake of explaining. Suppose flow is coming from pin enter. So what fork will do it? Fork will split it into two flows. So I will take two actions. Action 1, action 2. So So here you can see the fork. It will split. It is splitting the flow in two parallel activities. So whenever the activities are in parallel, you can use this fork. So here I haven't used it, but if you use it, it will be a, so if it is necessary, you can use it, the fork option. And again, there is a join option. So after this, you can join these two activities again. So again, you can select the control flow. So yeah, you can see here. So here I am splitting the activities by using the fork, and I'm again joining it by using the join method. So you can use it whenever it is necessary. So again, this is the decision. We have used the decision. This is join fork. This all the options are available here, whichever you can use. I will just remove this fork and join. After completing the model, you can save it. Go to File, Save As. So always name the diagrams properly, because there will be like 20-25 diagrams. So it will be easy to identify which one is which diagram. This one is the activity diagram, and it's for balance inquiry. Save it. So this is for balance inquiry activity diagram. So again, I will go to model, add diagram. Flowchart. Model, add diagram. So the third one we will see sequence diagram. Here you can see. So what a sequence diagram do is it shows the order of interaction. So it shows the timing order of the messages. So activity diagram will show the flow, then timing diagram, sequence diagram will show the time. So how the messages are, the timing of the messages. So here, so as the like in the activity diagram, there were swim lanes. In sequence diagram, we will have lifeline. So I will. This is the first option in the basic interaction. You can see the lifeline. Here's the lifeline. So I am selecting a 3 lifelines for this. So you can just name it, clicking on the lifeline. So the first I will give user. The second one is ATM. The third one. So here the second option is message. In the second diagram, there will be messages. It will be shown. It will flow between one lifeline to another lifeline. So the first message. Here. Will be, so again, this sequence diagram is for balance inquiry only. Here you can see this is the message. And this small box you can see, it's called the lifeline. It shows that it's it's active right now. This message, this lifeline is active. For what moment it is active? It's this box is used to show this. So the third option is the self message. You can also use this after inserting the card. ATM will verify the card. You can see the reply message. There's option reply message. So it will request for PIN. Again, the next will be enter PIN. The next message will be verify PIN. It shows the order of the messages, timing. First, we are inserting the card, then it will verify the card. It is requesting for the PIN. We are entering the PIN. It is sending to the bank for verifying the PIN. So, we'll process the request. So it will say PIN verify. Then it will proceed to ask the user which option. It will request for best option. Then I will select balance inquiry. Then it will request balance. The bank will fetch the balance. You can also extend this lifeline. Again, it will return the balance. It will display the balance for the user. Display balance. You can extend this lifelines if it is not sufficient. Also displaying the balance. eject card. So this is the sequence diagram for balance inquiry. So here it's the timing. It shows the timing of the messages. So you can see the user is inserting the card, verify card, it's requesting the pin. So you can see the numbers here. How the one after the another the messages are being sent from one lifeline to another lifeline. First message, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this shows the timing. So this one is for balance inquiry. You can also rename it on the right side in the model explorer. I rename it as balance inquiry sequence. So this is the third one, sequence diagram. Again, for every use case, there will be a sequence diagram. So the next one we will go with state chart diagram. So what a state chart diagram represents is it shows the state of an object, like in the automata theory of the subject we learn in BTech. So there we can see that how the states are changing from one state to another state. So similarly, again here we can start with the initial state. So this diagram is also for balance inquiry. I am showing for balance inquiry all the diagrams. So initial state, you can go with the initial state. So the next you can see the first option, simple state. So from the initial state, the transition will be to this state, display insert card. So the next state is enter pin. Now here in the display insert card, after inserting the card, the state is changing from display insert card to enter pin. So I will write down the name card inserted. So after inserting the card, the state will change to this insert pin. So the next state is verify pin. So again here the state is changing when the pin is entered. So the end pin is entered, state changes from enter pin to verify pin. Now again we have two options, if the pin is valid or the pin is invalid. the next state we will take, if the pin is valid, we will give choose option. Transition, verify pin to choose pin. So if the pin is verified, we are going to choose option. If the pin is not verified, again the final state, same as in the activity state, represented by a circle. Here, this is the start one, this is the final state. So the transition, oh no, it should be from verify pin. So if the pin is if the pin is invalid, it will be going to the final state. Otherwise, if the pin is valid, we are going to the next state. The state will be changed to display balance when the option will be selected balance inquiry. So the transition, so we are selecting balance selected. The balance inquiry selected, and the final state is from here we will go to the final state. So this is the state chart diagram. So here there are other options. You can see the last one is self transition. If you require a self transition, you can use this one also. I will show you how it will look. So here you can see it's a self transition. You can also use this. So here also you have the options. You have the decision box choice, join and fork, same as in the activity diagram. So it depends on what is your requirement in the activity state chart diagram. So this one is for the balance inquiry. I will save this one file, save as, and give the name properly. State chart So we have seen the use case, activity, sequence, state chart diagram. Next one I will show you.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Sir, will there be a separate state chart diagram for every use case?
Yeah, there will be a separate state chart diagram.
Okay,
There will be
but
one
that
one class diagram, but for activity diagram, sequence diagram, state chart diagram, for every use case there will be a different diagram.
yes, sir.
This is the communication diagram. It is same as the sequence diagram. So in the rational rows, you can directly get it from the sequence diagram. Let me check if the option is available here. State chart. The balance. I don't think there's option for that. So we will go for communication diagram. So it's similar to our sequence diagram only. So you can follow the same messages whatever you use in the sequence diagram. Here I will use convenient ATM. Bank. You can see the first message is so still, so this is the first message from user to ATM. We can reverse request. And you can see it's same as the sequence diagram. This arrow should be from user. Okay, I will say to reverse message. Okay. It will be request page. request pin, and forward message from user to ATM, and will be enter pin. Overlap. Take it here. Request pin, enter card, then second one is request pin, it is enter pin, then it will be from ATM to bank for verifying the pin. We get the balance. Right now, verify the pin. Pin verified. Open it from choose option. Same as we have seen in the sequence, asking user for the option. We are selecting balance inquiry. Then the forward message. Then ATM we send it to request balance. Right here slash get the balance. Send the balance back. Getting the balance and it will display the balance. So this is the communication diagram for balance inquiry. So it's same as a sequence diagram, but in sequence diagram you can see. Okay, let me open the sequence diagram. If you look at the diagram, you can directly say that okay, this is the sequence time. First insert card, verify card, request pin. You can see the sequence from top to bottom. In communication diagram, you have to read it. Okay, which is the first one? The first one is enter card. So here you can't see the sequence directly. You have to read the numbers first. That enter card, after second is request pin. So that is the main difference between communication diagram.
Sir, little louder. I can't
Okay.
hear you.
So again, similarly save it. So this one is the communication.
Talk louder, talk louder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Srilekha is not able to hear you. Yeah, please talk louder.
Sir, since my connection was poor and I lost the screen, sir, so I'm only able to hear Ingole sir's
Oh, yeah.
voice.
Okay, okay.
You're not able to see the picture. You're not able to see the diagrams.
Yes, sir. I lost my connection on very beginning, so I can only hear to him.
Okay.
But no
Good.
problem, sir. I will share. Like I will ask someone recorded video.
Yeah. Please,
Yes,
because you have to
especially
learn it.
record.
Yeah. Please talk loud. Subham.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Please talk louder, please. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
So here I am saving the structure diagram. Again, name is the important communication diagram. Underscore balance inquiry. Okay, I'm saving. Now this is the communication diagram. And the most important diagram is the class diagram. The first option only is the class diagram. This is the most important diagram. So in the toolbox, you can see the first option is the class. There will be a one class diagram. So here I will take here. So I'm just showing you how to take the classes, how to create a class diagram. But it depends on you how complex you will make it. So I will take another class withdrawal. Now you can add operations. Just right click, add, and add operation. First operation, withdrawal. So I will right click, operation. Withdrawal, I will write method. Operation is methods. Right.
Main structure diagram of UML. So please learn it very thoroughly. Very thoroughly, please learn it. This is the main diagram of UML. Based on this, how you will generate the code, please check it. The most important diagram. If other diagrams are drawn correctly, then only you can do this correctly. Yeah, please.
Method I am adding is withdrawal. From the class. I am taking another class. right click, add, and you can see the operation. We'll write the first operation is balance available. I will add another method. Right click, add operation. Is Now you can see here the different associations. So first is association, aggregation, composition. All these are the dependencies. You have to use all these dependencies carefully. I will use first dependency. ATM will be again. I will add again ATM to database. So after drawing all the diagrams only, you will draw the class diagram. So I will take a class screen. Add some. So it's set screen. I will take a class email support. Add operation, get pin. So withdrawal, I will add attributes. Balance is the attribute. Heading. Pin is the So here I am giving you just a overview of how a class diagram is drawn. So you have to first know what are the classes in your what are the classes you are going to draw, what are the relationship between the classes, what are the attributes, what are the methods. So you should also know this aggregation, composition, what are all these relationships. This will be important while drawing the class diagram. The class diagram will not be as simple as I have shown you on the I have drawn. It's just for the learning purpose. The class diagram will be more complex. There will be a more number of classes. There will be methods. There will be attributes. They will be associated with various relationships. Now from this class diagram, you can direct generate a Java code. So I will show you how the code is generated here. So in the tools, you might not see the third option Java. You have first to add it by going to extension manager. Yeah, first install Java in the star UML. So as you can see, there are two options. The first is registry and the second one is installed. So I have already installed it. So you can see here it's Java. So for you, go to tools, extension manager, and just type here Java. So after typing Java, you will see this option Java code generation and reverse engineering. So you can just install it. I have already installed it. So like this, it will show Java and you can install it. After that, you can see it here. After installing it, you will see the third option as Java. So now I have drawn this class diagram. I will show you how the code is generated here. So go to tools, Java, and here is the option generate code. So I will select the class diagram. So this is model 2. So this is our class diagram. Okay, it's showing some error. I will go to tool. Okay, it's working. So go to tools, Java, generate code, and select whichever is the class diagram. So our model 2 is the class diagram. So I'm selecting model 2, click OK. Now where you want to save it. So I will name the folder ATM Java. In the model folder. Okay, I will just check if it's there or not. Yeah, you can see here. My screen is visible.
Your screen is visible, but it has frozen. But like we are still seeing the star UML.
Okay, okay. I will see. Okay, now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now here you can see the codes. Here all the classes I have drawn: ATM, bank database, keypad, screen withdrawal. It's not responding. Wait, yeah, okay. So here you can see the ATM class. You can see the method public ATM. Oh, this is the constructor. This is default constructor. You can see public ATM and the method we have implemented public void operation 1. So it will give you the outline of all the class diagram. It will give the Java code for this. I will show you a different class. Okay, this is for the bank database, this class. So here you can see the constructor. This is the attribute here used, pin. These are the operations. Public void is balance available and public void is pin available. So you can just write down the code here now. So this is how you can directly generate the Java code from the class diagram. So this is the class diagram. So we have seen use case diagram, activity diagram, sequence diagram, state chart diagram, communication diagram, and class diagram. So similarly, there will be component diagram you have to draw. There will be a deployment diagram. There will be only one component diagram, one deployment diagram. So it won't be difficult to draw. So now everybody just try to draw the use case diagram. And you can just share your screen after that, after drawing the first use case diagram. Just everyone try to draw the use case diagram. Just find out what are the functionalities you can find out in the ATM. Find out the use cases. Just try to draw the use case diagram. So everyone's with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so try to draw the use case diagram. If you have any difficulty, just ask me. Okay, sir.
Now you have learned from Subham Bhaiya. You draw now. You draw now yourself the different diagrams, and if you have any problem, confusion, anything, ask him. But you have to do by yourself. You have to study it in the evening and do it again and again, again and again. And particularly, you need to know how to get the code from the class diagram, Java code. That is the main advantage of this UML tool. How easy it becomes to write a code for a class. How the messages are passing between the classes. इन बोले ये जरा बता दो कि message passing, ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
That is the most important part. In any class diagram, the messages, what message you get from other classes, with the help of those messages, you do a particular job. The operation or the method is only possible to carry out with the getting messages from other classes. So that is the most important part. What type of message comes from which class, and you depend on that. So that relationship, dependency relationship between the classes, different relationship, that is most important. So you try to do it again and again and again and learn it. Learn how the messages flow and you read it. Not that everything will be taught in the class. Class will only cover 10%. 90% you have to cover by yourself. You are no more a small child. Everything is there in the Google. You have to study it and implement it. Okay, okay. Message passing next class में बता देना, ठीक है?
Yeah,
ये
yes.
लोग yeah, let them do something today,
Yes, sir.
and in the next class you ask what they have read. If they fail, then you tell them how to do the message passing.
Yes.
Let them try by themselves.
Yes, sir.
I want that somebody should be able to tell in the next class. Okay. Okay. let them-
So, yeah. So try to draw the use case diagrams now, everyone. If anyone has any problem, you can just ask me. Found out what are the functional requirements, actors, the association between the actors and the use cases.